Guys and nerds, geeks and girls, Sean here from Oz Interactive, and today I am going to open up my latest purchase under Magic the Gathering, and that is Archenemy Nicol Bolas. So I bought this last night at Game Traders down at Penrith, so if you're ever in the area looking for games to play or anything like that, they've got a huge selection of stuff in there. Magic the Gathering, all types of card games, all types of board games and stuff like that. That's Game Traders live in Penrith on Henry Street. They're really cool. So the story behind this basically was, it was my anniversary this week, and my wife was looking for something to get me, and this was it. This is something that I've been looking forward to since it came out, when Hour of Devastation came out a couple of months ago. And yeah, just really pumped up. This is a really cool thing that I can get into and play with my mates when they come around, and I'm just really excited for what it's got. So inside we have 3 Planeswalker decks here. We've got Chandra, Gideon and Nissa, and also a Nicol Bolas deck, which is the Archenemy, and we've also got 20 schemes cards here, and there's 10 double-sided tokens, and they've got this really cool little life counter here. So we'll open it up and we'll see what we've got inside. Ooh, nice. Ooh, looks like a nice box we've got here. Not sure what this is. We'll open it up in here. Oh, okay, so here's our deck boxes. So we have Nicol Bolas, have Gideon Jura, Nissa Ravane, and Chandra Nala. If we go further into the box here, just got a bit of packaging. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Now here's the cool little thing we've got here. So this is our life counter. So you can pretty much turn it around to any number. Good for Commander, good for normal Magic, all that kind of stuff. So that there will be Nicol Bolas's life counter when we play. We have our 3 decks here. So Gideon, our tokens, Chandra Pyro Master, and Nissa World Waker. So I'll have a look at those in a second. Keep on going, trying to get this out. So just have a nice box for it all to go into once you've got them in and you've got them sleeved. I have been told that once you sleeve these up, they will still fit into the boxes, so that's pretty cool. And there's our Nicol Bolas Planeswalker deck there, and here's our scheme cards. So we'll open up the scheme cards first, have a quick look through. I am waiting on getting sleeves for these because I will be sleeving everything up nicely in here. So we have just a game guide here on how to play Archenemy. So it is a 4-player game. You can play 2-player. 2-player, basically Nicol Bolas is way too OP. So you're going to want to get at least 3 or even the 4th person involved into this. So all of the scheme cards, they're in relation to stuff that the Nicol Bolas deck can do, and basically they screw out the other 3 players. So here, spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. At the beginning of your opponent's end step, if they cast 4 or more spells this turn, abandon this scheme. Behold my grandeur. When you set this scheme in motion, add blue black and red to your mana pool. When you set this scheme in motion, if you control 6 or more lands, you may search your library for a card with converted mana cost 6 or greater, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. Ooh, that's nice. We have bow to my command. As you set this scheme in motion, choose an opponent. Creatures the chosen player controls can't attack you or planeswalker you control at the beginning of your opponent's end step. They may tap any number of untapped creatures they control with total power 8 or greater. If they do, abandon this scheme. We have Choose Your Demise. When you set this scheme in motion, look at the top 4 cards of your library and separate them into face-down piles and a face-up pile. An opponent chooses one of those piles, put the cards in that pile into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. You have Delight in the Hunt. When you set the scheme in motion, create a 3/3 black horror creature token and prevent all damage that will be dealt to creatures you control this turn. We have Every Dream and Nightmare. When you set the scheme in motion, each opponent discards a card. You draw a card for each land card discarded this way. When you set this scheme in motion, for each opponent, create a 3/3 black horror creature token that attacks that player each combat if able. Oh, that can be nasty. No Evil. When you set this scheme in motion, until your next turn, up to one target opponent can't attack with creatures, up to one target opponent can't cast creature spells, and up to one target opponent can't cast non-creature spells. You can't choose any player as a target more than once. We have Make Yourself Useful. When you set this scheme in motion, destroy target creature an opponent controls. If a creature is destroyed this way, you gain life equal to its toughness. The Mighty Will Fall. When you set this scheme in motion, choose an opponent with the highest life total among your opponents. That player loses 7 life. My forces are innumerable. At the beginning of your end step, create a 3/3 black horror creature token. At the beginning of your opponent's end step, they may sacrifice 2 creatures. If they do, abandon this scheme. So my laughter echoes. Whenever you set a non-ongoing scheme in motion, you may abandon this scheme. If you do, set that scheme in motion again. When you set this scheme in motion, each opponent chooses a creature he or she controls and sacrifices the rest. So that was No One Will Hear Your Cries. Pay Tribute to Me. When you set this scheme in motion, each opponent sacrifices a creature. If you control 6 or more lands, each opponent sacrifices another creature. Power Without Equal. When you set this scheme in motion, draw 3 cards. You have no maximum hand size until your next turn. If you control 6 or more lands, you may cast up to 3 non-land cards from your hand without paying their mana cost. Wow. A Reckoning Approaches. When you set this scheme in motion, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. There is no refuge. When you set this scheme in motion, it deals 3 damage to up to 1 target creature. Create a 3/3 black horror creature token. The World Belongs to Me. When you set this scheme in motion, draw 2 cards. You may play an additional land this turn. What's Yours Is Now Mine. When you set this scheme in motion, gain control of target creature an opponent controls and untap it. When Will You Learn? When you set this scheme in motion, each opponent exiles the top card of his or her library. You may cast any number of non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. Alright, and that's all the scheme cards there. So as you can see, there's some ones which are pretty nice. There's some ones that are really nasty if you're playing against the Nicol Bolas deck or the Archenemy there. So yeah, there's the scheme cards there. So we'll just have a quick look now through the Planeswalker decks, see what they're like and what cool little things they have in there. Alrighty, first up we're going to have a look at the Nicol Bolas Planeswalker deck. So the casting cost is 4 colourless, a blue, 2 blacks and a red. And if you get this one out, he's going to do some pretty much big damage straight off the bat. So he's got 5 loyalty counters straight on him, +3, destroy target non-creature permanent. So you can start getting rid of people's lands if you'd like to. Enchantments, stuff like that. -2, gain control of target creature, and -9, which is a really nasty one if you want to start picking on someone early in game. Nicol Bolas Planeswalker deals 7 damage to target player. That player discards 7 cards and sacrifices 7 permanents. So yeah, that's pretty yuck. Okay, so we have Archfiend of Depravity, Icefall Regent, Prognostic Sphinx, Harvester of Souls, Sphinx of Joie Isle, Deathbringer Regent, Overseer of the Damned. Oh, we've got a Blood Tyrant in here. Dreadbore, destroy target creature or planeswalker. That's pretty nice. Cruel Ultimatum. Now that looks like it was at 2 blue, 3 black, 2 red. Target opponent sacrifices a creature, discards 3 cards, then loses 5 life. You return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand, draw 3 cards, then gain 5 life. Wow, that's, if you can get the mana up for that, that's pretty disgusting. Sudden Demise. Now our lands, we've got a Dragon Skull Summit, a Drowned Catacomb, Nightscape Familiars, Baleful Strix. We've got a couple of Nighthawks here. Use them in my vampire deck, they're pretty cool. Flame Tongue Kavu. Oh, Bone Pickers. Yeah, from Armored Cat. Cinder Barons, Crumbling Necropolis. So we've got a play set of those. A Grixis Panorama. Ooh, so you can sack that and search for a basic island, swamp or mountain. Highland Lake, 2 of those. Submerged Boneyard, got a few islands, some swamps, some mountains. Oh, now I've got some instants here. Got 2 lightning bolts, always great to have. Talisman of Dominance, just for some more mana there. Doomblades, I haven't seen those for a while. So destroy target non-black creature. Obelisk of Grixis, got 2 of those. Reckless Spite. Destroy 2 target non-black creatures, you lose 5 life. Soul Ransom. Extract from Darkness, and a Slave of Bolas. Gain control of target creature and untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Ooh, so Bolas looks pretty nice. So next we'll run on to our green Nissa deck. So what have we got here? So we've got Nissa World Waker. So 3 and 2 green. 3 loyalty on it. Target land you control becomes a 4/4 elemental creature with trample. It's still a land. +1, untap up to 4 target forests. And -7, search your library for any number of basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Those lands become 4/4 elemental creatures with trample. They're still lands. Wow. Yeah, that could get nasty if you can get that out. So we've got a Secure Mob, Forgotten Ancient, Thrag Tusks, Armored Cat, I think, Oran Reef Hydra, Rampaging Bailiff, Sword of the Animist, Hunter's Prowess, Initiate Companion. Okay, I don't know what that's there, but a Fertilid, Reckless Scholar. Target player draws a card, then discards a card. Turn Timber Basilisk, Windrider Eels, Woodburn Behemoth. As long as you control 8 or more lands, Woodburn Behemoth gets 4/4 and trample. Scoured Behemoth, that's a very nasty card. I'm running that in one of my green decks. 6/7 hexproof for 6. A Greater Sandworm, Woodland Streams, we've got a playset of those. We've got some forests here, a few islands, enchantments. We've got a Sixth Sense from Armenket. Vines of Recluse, explore, you may play an additional land this turn, draw a card. Eye of Ruin Expedition, it's got landfall on it. Vision Skies, County Heart Expedition, Cultivate, so social library for up to 2 basic lands, reveal those cards and put one on the battlefield tapped, the other into your hand. Retreat to Kazandu, Compulsive Research, Press the Advantage, Vastwood Zendikon, Sylvan Bounty, target player gains 8 life. It's got cycling on that too. Alright, cool. Now we're just going to have a quick look at Chandra. Okay, so we have here Chandra Pyromaster, 2 and 2 red, 4 loyalty comes in with. Chandra Pyromaster deals 1 damage to target player and 1 damage to up to 1 target creature that player controls. That creature can't block this turn. That's for a +1. A 0 is exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. -7, exile the top 10 cards of your library. Choose an instant or sorcery card, exile this way, and copy it 3 times. You may cast the copies without paying their mana costs. Yeah. Okay, so we've got a Grim Lava Mancer, Chandra's Phoenix, Jewelcaster Mage. These are just very burny, I think. Obsidian Fireheart, Torchling, Inferno Tyrant, Titan, Avatar of Fury, Pathmaker Initiate, Stormblood Berserker, Blood Ogres, Gutter Snipe. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Gutter Snipe deals 2 damage to each opponent. Ew. Battle Rattle Shaman, Gorehorn Minotaurs, Skargan Firebird, so Bloodthirst, and you can bring it back. Smoldering Spires, and it is tapped. Smoldering Spires enter the battlefield. Target creature can't block this turn. We've got all our mountains here. Alright, so instance Coordinated Assault. We've got enchantment Hammerhead. Brute Strength's always good. +3/+1 gains trample. Searing Spears. Tormenting Voice is an additional cost to casting. To cast Tormenting Voice, discard a card, draw 2. Chandra's Outrage, Limits of Solidarity, Fiery Fall, and Volcanic Geyser. Volcanic Geyser deals X damage to target creature or player. Right, so there's Chandra. And last but not least in our decks, we've got Gideon Jura. And always a pain trying to open these things. Alright, Gideon Jura. 3 and 2 white. Comes in with 6 loyalty counters on it. During target +2s during target opponent's next turn, creatures that player controls attack Gideon Jura if able. -2, destroy target tapped creature. 0, until end of turn, Jura becomes a 6/6 human soldier creature that's still a planeswalker. Prevent all damage that will be dealt to him this turn. So Gideon's kind of nice. So we've got a Grand Abolisher, Precinct Captain, Mentor of the Meek, Fiend Slayer Paladin, Odric Master Tactician, Lightwielder Paladin, Aegis Angel, Sun Titan, There's a lot of vigilance and first strike in this deck. And then a Nitra of Champions, Doomed Traveller, Gideon's Lawkeeper, a Fencing Ace, Youthful Knight, Those Who Serve Zombies from Armenket, Vizier of Deferment, that was Armenket as well, Aerial Responders from Kaladesh, I think it was, Flicker Wisps, Sparring Mummies, Relief Captain, Expedition Raptor, and we'll go through all our planes. And we've got Grasp of the Hieromancer, Moment of Heroism, Shoulder to Shoulder, and Excoriate, exile target tapped creature. Ew. Alright, so there's all our 4 decks that we've got here. We've got a couple of tokens, which are all the double-sided ones. We can have a quick look at those. I always like the art on these ones here, especially of late. They've come up with some really cool art for the tokens. So we've got a zombies, a soldiers, then the other side, spirit, beast, we've got Thrag Tusk, beast, horror tokens for the Bolas deck. Yeah, and that's it. So, there it is. Archenemy Nicol Bolas. Really cool. Once I get it all sleeved up very shortly, I'll show you how it all fits nicely back into the box, and yeah. And there we have the box all set up and all nice. Alright, so we've got the scheme cards underneath back here. Nicol Bolas goes here, a life counter, Chandra, Nissa, and Gideon, and we've also got the tokens that just sit in just there. So all up, it's a pretty tidy, nice little box, and that is it. So yeah, if you want to get yourself a hold of one of these, go down to your local gaming store. Once again, if you're in the Penrith, New South Wales area, the best place to go to is Game Traders Live on Henry Street. They'll sort you out, all the boys in there, Chris, Troy, and then there's Taylor as well. Friday Night Magic from 7, Commander on Wednesdays and Sundays, and Standard on Saturdays. So yeah, head on down, come play some Magic. Alright guys, cheers.